Greetings, God bless you, and welcome to my new video. This time about the various planes of existence within the Dungeons and Dragons setting. Why am I making this video? Because I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, and I would like to give my impressions on them from a more philosophical and world-building standpoint, emphasizing what a writer or world-builder could gain from them, rather than a game master of a typical Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Because of this, I'm not an expert in the lore, so forgive me if I make any mistakes. Before watching this video, remember to share this video and leave a comment, but also remember to follow God first and foremost. While I encourage you to comment, do not promote the blasphemous ideas of polytheism within the comments section. I shall be a bit stricter here. We start within the prime material plane. It's pretty much the Earth, Middle-earth, Faerun, or whatever other base of your fantasy world. Within D&D, they all exist within the same broader concept, just in separate worlds. Now that we've been introduced to our starting point, let me introduce myself. I'm your Virgil, or Beatrice, though if you're in love with the sound of my voice, well, that would be awkward. So let's just say that I'm the equivalent of Virgil here, and the first destination beyond the prime material that I shall take, you shall be the two mirror planes of the physical world. The Feywild, or the realm of fairy, is a beautiful sparking forest in eternal twilight, home to all sorts of fairy tale creatures from classical fantasy. While one may think correctly that this realm is of glimmering beauty, it is one of intense intrigue and political conflict between the Seelie and Unseelie courts. Why do they fight? Jealous women. The queens hate each other's guts and do lots of politicking. In addition, the fairies and whatnot are pricks. One could be a seasoned war criminal responsible for the deaths of over 900,000 individuals in the cruelest ways and get a mere slap on the wrist. But if he dares to tie his shoelaces the wrong way, the fairies will throw him into the gulag for eternity because he apparently insulted the Fae and their customs. Then we witness the realm of the Shadowfell, which remains inherently dark and muted. As you travel, the land remains inherently cool and the light itself is dim, but it's not overly inhospitable. Think of ESO's depictions of Cold Harbor, a cool place to adventure around rather than a legitimate hell. And speaking of hell, this realm is one of death and undeath. Many souls exist within this region simply because they're transitioning beyond death and found this place as a stopping point to go to their afterlives, but many others go here to trample on the cycle of life and death in the unholy practice of necromancy. In short, while the Shadowfell may not be evil per se, it's still filled with rather unsavory individuals that you wouldn't want to spend too much time with. Now, why are they called mirror planes, you may ask? Well, they serve as reflections of the prime material plane and have similar geographies to the world. What could be a gentle river in the prime material could be a haunted creek in the Shadowfell or a yellow brick road in the Feywild, but the same geographical features still exist. These planes are linked so much with the prime material plane that even actions themselves will coincide. For example, if one chops down a forest in the prime material, the same forest will be destroyed in the Feywild and the Shadowfell. Now we go one layer out and into the inner planes, realms that are made up of elements. Because these planes aren't as important as the outer planes that I'll present later in the video, I shall go over them a bit more briefly. But first, let me explain what genies are, as they have a strong role within these planes. Genies are elemental beings known for passion, and they are often very aggressive towards mortals, due to their elevated and naturally powerful position. Different types of genies exist within each main inner plane, except the energy ones, though that will be mentioned later. As you enter into the inner planes, you must start by traveling through the ethereal plane. It is a hollowed-out version of the material plane where physical elements remain and ghosts could be formed. While it may be tempting to hurry into this realm for safety, and sometimes it may be your only option, know that dangerous and powerful ghosts want you to think exactly that. Now that I've scared you, let me tell you my personal interpretation of these planes. In my headcanon, the plane of fire sits directly below the plane of earth, which sits below the plane of water, which sits below the plane of air. This is not official Dungeons and Dragons lore, but I'll interpret it this way. The first plane you shall enter is the plane of positive energy, an infinite expanse of abundant energy and a powerful white light. However, do not mistake this for a plane of good, as this positive energy is inherently soul-crushing in its vitality and demonic in its bright light. Next, I guide you to the plane of fire, one of the few physical planes that have a working system of gravity within them. It is known for being incredibly hostile and dangerous to the body, most notably due to its extreme temperatures, but also due to fire genies known as the Ifriti. The Ifriti are a rather evil people, establishing the powerful city of Brass, where Batezu and Tanari tend to work on their heinous schemes. While one can guess that this plane is evil, a singular question remains: is it evil because the Batezu live here, or do the Batezu live here because it is evil? Going above the vast volcanoes of the plane of fire, you enter the glorious caverns of the plane of earth. In this realm, gravity itself is subjective. Down for you is wherever you think is down, causing you to naturally fall down. One would think that this realm has many minerals, and while that may be true, it is a grave for the greedy. The Tao, or Earth Genies, are very protective of their ancient homeland, gathering in the powerful and mysterious City of Jewels as a massive fortification against any intruders. Like the Ifriti, the Tao are also known for their rather unsavory practices, such as slavery, though the plane of Earth isn't as evil as the plane of fire. Going above the plane of earth, we witness the plane of water. This realm is a vast ocean filled with life, though not all of that life is the type of life that you'd want to deal with. Creatures range from civilized and aristocratic merfolk to towering and animalistic sharks to colossal titans of inherently evil nature, each of them having their own intentions, values, cultures, and civilizations. In addition to them are the Marids, powerful aquatic genies who gather in the city of 10,000 pearls at the very base of the deep blue sea. Like the Tao and Ifriti, the Marids engage in slavery, though their slaves aren't as brutalized or tortured as those of the former two. Now we move on to the plane of air. This too a realm without gravity, and also one that is rather hospitable for the mortal traveler. Within the vast open sky, various pockets of earth, water and fire exist that could be settled on and turned into an island. Those within this plane are also inherently civilized, as they are the masters of the sky islands that they seek to build. One can see a great many of mortal wizards or necromancers truly live and love the land that they live in, though there remains one thing we cannot forget. The Jinn are air genies, and they're the only ones who do not engage in the vile institution of slavery, instead preferring to remain within their own home-built citadels and truly live a life worth living. Beyond this, we enter space, the plane of negative energy. If you think that the plane of positive energy is inhospitable, the sheer draining elements of the plane of negative energy remain even more so. Unlike the other one, however, the plane of negative energy is filled with life, or at least undeath. As you fly beyond the inner planes, we must go beyond the ethereal and into the astral plane. This is a large realm, almost akin to an ocean, in which all souls go through after death to get to their final destination. These souls are known as petitioners, And as they enter the outer planes, they begin their second life. The reason why I say second life instead of the afterlife is because the souls of petitioners don't exactly live forever once they die, but rather they live within the outer planes until they are either absorbed by its essence or are killed. This is what makes the outer planes truly fascinating, as it is a realm of what happens when you die. Now let's go beyond the astral plane and into the glorious city of Sigil, right in the center of all the outer planes. It is the embodiment of the true neutral alignment, a haven of everyone, where all cultures, realms, languages, devils, demons, angels, saints, and sinners can truly arrive at. The one exception? The gods. Now let's be fair, the so-called gods in Dungeons and Dragons are very weak. They're about as strong as the Greek or Norse gods, and those gods stand nothing against he who is beyond all. Don't think so? Ask the missionary who cut down the tree of the pagan gods if Thor is still standing today, or the Lady of Pain if gods are allowed in her city. In truth, if God was to enter the gates of Sigil as a conqueror, he would be eternally victorious. Still, the city of Sigil is the center of the outer planes, and because of that, it is home to many different factions, ideologies, and conquerors. Some think of themselves as animal protectors, others as glorious revolutionaries, and still others as the bringers of inevitable death. This aforementioned Lady of Pain is the only one there keeping the balance, and she is a perfect example of true neutral. While her punishments are that of a tyrant, it's very hard to get on her bad side, as her code is simple. Do not harm her, interfere with her business, worship her, or interfere with the balance of Sigil itself, lest you wish to be sent into a Tartarian maze of no escape. However, you can still do a lot of unethical things, including theft and murder, while following the code. Moving beyond the city itself, we witness a vast realm known as the Outlands, a plane of holiness and damnation, yet one that carries the essence of true neutrality as well. Within this realm, even the forces of magic themselves become limited, and it can be dangerous for magical creatures to go around this region. That's why we must travel across the various gate towns and witness the nature of these diverse locations, as they shall lead you to the 16 outer planes that shall conclude this show. We first enter the beautiful town of Fonel, portal to the Beastlands, a purely good-aligned plane in which chaos is an afterthought. Within this realm, you can see the wild and untamed nature of this plane, as you are confronted by animals all around of all kinds and shapes, though usually gigantic in size. This could range from a Tyrannosaurus rex to a woolly mammoth to a Toroton from the future is wild, though that depends on how creative the DM is. These animals are intelligent and capable of speaking as humans, and they remain generally peaceful and good-natured. Despite this good nature, this realm could be dangerous at night, as outsiders, and especially hunters, are often treated with suspicion by the denizens of this golden realm. Now let us take the River Oceanus to the next realm of Arborea, home of Mount Olympus, a realm equal parts chaotic and good. This is where the Elven and Greek gods fight, party, dance, sing, and be happy. Within this realm, one can see the chaotic parties of the elves and Greeks truly manifest themselves in a heavenly fashion. After all, this is the home of passion and strong emotion, where emotions run wild in the best ways they possibly could. Welcome to Ysgard, the land of adventure and battle, home to mostly chaos, but tempered with some good as an afterthought. Within this realm, souls can truly experience the most absolute and great of glories as they enter new adventures every day. The glorious Norse pantheon can be found here, but not only them, as 100,000 great battles occur here, and everyone within truly finds a place of glorious adventure and battle. Here, wounds heal quickly and the landscape constantly shifts, as souls wander about finding another adventure to truly satisfy their ultimate wanderlust and desire for glory. Unlike the more moral planes of the Beastlands and Arborea, this realm is a bit more dangerous and inhospitable, as the nature of the realm is for adventurers who don't wish to stop their long journeys. Now we descend from the lush and verdant lands of chaotic good to the realms of chaotic evil. Limbo, the realm of infinite chaos and neutrality, shows you a great patchwork of chaos before you enter the howling caverns of Pandemonium. This realm is inherently dark and decrepit, with howling winds going through every cavern that drive visitors and residents into complete insanity. While this realm is indeed both chaotic and evil, evil is an afterthought. People commit crimes here because they are batshit insane rather than outwardly malicious, though it won't really matter to you when they skip rope with your entrails. Essentially, most people around here have the exact same moral compass as the Joker, and you can't blame them. The wind is too strong and howling for you to think about anything other than the simple fact that hard work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. But within our next plane of torture, there's a force of evil far worse than just rats, as we are welcomed to the realm of the abyss. While the absolute horrors of this plane are innumerable, let me describe a single horror that exists within its countless layers. Picture this. You're in a small field with your lover, peacefully enjoying a blissful eternity. There you're able to enjoy the comfort and peace of your restful field as you constantly engage in your love's warm embrace. Then it turns out that your lover turns out to be a demon lord named Bazuzuka Waka Waka Toko Hashimoto Yo Mama, and the only thing she wants to do is eat you alive slowly, bit by bit, until your literal soul is devoured. This is also known in the prime material plane as having a girlfriend, but of course you're probably too out of shape to tell. Next, you enter the realm of Arcadia, which is a gigantic prison planet in and of itself, right between chaotic and neutral evil. Mostly evil, but chaos is an afterthought. This realm may not be the most inhospitable, the most evil, or even the most diabolical, but there is something that makes this realm truly awful. This realm itself is a prison filled with the most awful of entrapments set on the souls within. Souls who wish to leave this realm must first complete their sentence, or finish a given task, which may be nearly impossible to complete. For example, one poor sod stuck in this realm had to bring 200 other souls outside of the realm along with him, exhibiting 5 virtues along the way for each region of this particular hellscape. Now we enter the realm of neutral evil, the most pure evil that could ever be found. This is the land of Hades, and its inherent effects wither away the wills of souls who wish to stand up for anything. Unlike the other evil realms, which are tempered by a commitment to schemes of destruction or tyranny, Hades remains desolate. There's nothing within this realm but the absolute destruction of any soul that wishes to stand up for itself or even just live. If you stay in here for too long, you'll begin to feel a depression and pain unknown throughout the rest of your life, as if you don't care about anything at all. Your will, empathy, sense of freedom, and even desire to do evil will slowly be removed from you as you continue to wander throughout the gray wastes, slowly losing even your sense of self. Then you approach the volcanic mountain of Gehenna, where a little bit of lore is added into the mostly evil realm. Still, lore is just an afterthought, as the fiery rivers of magma of this realm remain inherently dark and oppressively evil. Yakov, this is for you. As if you make it out alive at the other end of this realm, you'd better check your pocket. As you can see, this is the realm of cutthroats, mercenaries, and those who seek profits through evil schemes. Within this realm, even fighting becomes an afterthought, as you are required to use your wits to complete your evil machinations to their fullest of levels. Then we witness the realm of Bator, home of the devils, fighting an infinite war with the demons of the previously mentioned abyss. These devils, also known as the Batezu, get their souls through malicious contracts, transforming them into other devils, so they can manipulate more souls to turn evil or fight in the endless blood wars against the hordes of the abyss. Now, One may state that the devils aren't as bad due to their sense of law and honor, but in truth they manipulate the contract so much as to allow themselves to get away with anything, while everyone else simply has to abide by their malicious rules. In addition, instead of killing souls, they'd prefer to torture them indefinitely. Now, still lawful but not as evil is Acheron, the quintessential Hell of Eye was just following orders. Here, evil is just an afterthought, just as evil was an afterthought within Pandemonium. Souls within Acheron remain corrupt, yes, but not as corrupt as the souls of Bator or any of the greater hells. Within this realm, one can find an endless war between various competing factions, each with no rhyme or reason. Here, souls fight and die for nothing, over and over again, as the realm slowly tears itself to shreds. The general landscape is made up of several competing cubes, each constantly crashing into each other and causing danger to everyone, making every single fortress, every single monument, and every single landmark amount to absolutely nothing. Now we reach the lawful neutral realm of Mechanus, where every soul is stuck to an infinite clockwork machine. While evil is no longer present here, that is because law itself is the dominant force that binds this plane together, as even the concept of individuality itself is foreign to this disgusting realm. Modrons, or inevitables, are mechanical devices that serve this realm, made into many ranks that command each other. Each monodrone obeys the commands of the duodrone, but cannot conceive of the existence of the tridrone. This goes all the way up to their overlord Primus, who remains in command of the clockwork nirvana throughout its history. Going beyond the vast realms of lawful evil, let me present you to the peaceable kingdoms of Arcadia, returning to the good-aligned realms, though this time describing the lawful good. Arcadia itself is a perfect orchard, with everything growing in a neatly organized fashion. Nothing is out of place here, as even day and night remain perfectly ordered. You could be standing in the middle of the day at one time, only for the sky to itself flip a switch, creating night. Though this may seem unsettling to some, the law doesn't completely destroy the spirits of good and noble individuals. What is unsettling, however, is a deep melancholy within this plane, as Nemesis, one of the regions of this plane, was absorbed into the clockwork nirvana due to it becoming too lawful. This presents a deep sadness throughout the realm, suffering its residents akin to the loss of Constantinople for the Orthodox Church. Next, we reach a less tragic realm known as Mount Celestia, where true ascension into absolute greatness can exist. This is not a place for individuals to party and just stay put, as souls are compelled to ascend through the ranks of this realm, becoming pure angels. Here, the souls of both good and law work together so they may ascend beyond the darkness of the physical world and into somewhere much greater, as the pursuit of perfection truly captivates every soul on this immense and virtuous journey. Each layer of the mountain itself is based on Dante's Purgatorio and Paradiso, though influences from Eastern mythologies remain present in the lore building. The next realm after this is the glorious land of Bitopia, where two regions stand eternally facing each other. These regions are Shuruk and Dothian, the former being a wild land of vast prairies where people constantly farm, and the latter being a wild, untamed wilderness where people constantly work in mines. All of this work is simple but fulfilling, truly bringing joy to the soul, even if it would be drudgery anywhere else. This land is a twin paradise, where good is more important than law, but work is still required for everyone throughout this glorious realm. After all, the lazy don't deserve to experience paradise, do they? Finally, let us experience the beautiful realm of Elysium, where all true glory can be found. This is an absolute paradise, a realm of pure good that isn't tempered by law or chaos. Here, souls experience bliss in the truest of senses, as they witness whatever brings them fulfillment in life truly take shape among the glistening clouds and glorious fields. Cardinals, this realm's equivalent of angels, ensure that only the greatest of souls belong here, as the presence of evil must be wiped out from a realm that truly represents good. And what is good, you may ask? Only God knows, for the Lord is the divine source of creation. He who is beyond all, the honored, blessed, and great, most powerful, most beautiful, most righteous, and most loving. Amen.